Okay, continuing on with the elevator pitch series, now let's talk about building rapport. So what you're trying to do here is create some level of commonality, some mutual respect for each other that develops through just this short temporary conversation that you're having. Generally, some common experience or something like that, as we previously discussed, is the best way to establish rapport, because it causes empathy. It causes the person to put themselves in your position, and along with that empathy, there's an association of your shared interests, beliefs, values, etc. that again starts to build a level of rapport, and ultimately moves to reciprocity, that if you can demonstrate you're willing to do something for them, they're willing to help you as well. Okay, so in order to create this level of rapport and ultimately reciprocity, you have to understand the person. Not everyone responds to the same techniques for creating a relationship or to sharing common beliefs or understandings. That is, some people fill it out slowly over time. Some people jump to conclusions about people. Some people are more apt to judge people based on appearance rather than on their the conversation or content of what you're talking about. So you have to keep this in mind, and you have to try to judge what type of person an individual is, because what can be funny or entertaining to one could be off-putting to another. So it comes down to something called social intelligence in the moment. Now, if you have the ability to learn something about the individual ahead of time, to read up on them, say their biography on a website or something like that, well, then you have an advantage. You can start to understand more about the individual, about what drives them. If not, then you're simply going to have to observe them and see what you can pick up just by observing them, or by listening in, or starting a conversation with them. And then lastly, asking them questions, trying to draw information out of them. This is an excellent technique with anyone. Rather than starting to talk about yourself, talk about them. Generally, the most likable people or agreeable people that you'll come across, one common characteristic they have is that they don't generally talk about themselves very often, or they only talk about themselves once asked or that information is drawn out. They're good listeners, and they're more than willing to grant you the level of mental self-actualization that you need by asking questions about you, to let you talk about yourself. And in the same way, when you're delivering the elevator pitch, do that. Ask questions. Do not brag or try to impress the other person. That is the biggest death knell. Okay. You can state things about yourself, but try to make it seem humble, or in a way that's least off-putting, right? So avoid saying I. Make it a message about them, and when you're saying things like this, the answering the questions about you, make it more about you're simply answering their questions rather than in some way bragging about yourself or building yourself up. This level of humility goes a long way with almost every personality type. Okay? And then with every question they ask you, don't talk on too much, or don't over talk the conversation. Ask them questions back to draw reciprocal information from them. Okay, it's kind of a matching principle, that if they ask you something, you put that back on them, or sometimes you ask them that question ahead of time in hopes that they would draw that information from you. If that's the case, then lead the next question with the next bit of information that you hope they ask of you. Okay, and listen intently, and listen in a way that again makes them want or feel obligated to ask the question back to you to get the information out. Again, do it in a way that's natural, conversational, and very humble. So again, you're informing the person about yourself, you're getting the information out there, but it doesn't look like you're asking for something, which again can defeat the rapport that you establish.